out, but they increasingly are. We're going to go right now to Wendy Dowe, who's testified that while she was detained at Irwin, Dr. Amin told her she had large cysts and pushed her to get a hysterectomy, which she refused, but he still performed a surgery that left her unable to have children. Doctors later told her the procedure was completely unnecessary. She's originally from Jamaica, lived in the U.S. for more than 20 years, has 4 U.S.-born children. She was deported in May. Wendy, if you can tell us what happened to you.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Thank you so much.
September of 2018, I went to court for a traffic violation. And after that, they put, I got arrested. They put an ICE hold on me. So I ended up in Irwin County. I was there for a year and 6 months with stomach pain. I went in there with hypertension, and I had stomach pain, and I have a hernia. So I made a claim to the medical department, and they didn't do anything until one day. They came for me, didn't know where I was going. They woke me up 5 o'clock. And when I went there, it was Dr. Amin. He performed X-ray and sonogram on me and told me that I got multiple cysts in me. So I asked him what that meant. He didn't answer. So after the point, he told me that I got a mass in my ovary. I'm like, what is that? He says, it's a mass that grows in your ovary. You don't know if it's cancerous, but it's a mass. I went back to the facility. I spoke to the nurses about that. They said they don't know because Dr. Admin didn't send them any type of paperwork as yet. So I think it's a couple weeks after that, they woke me up again 5 o'clock that morning. I went to Dr. Amin again. That told me that I got a size of the cantaloupe in my ovary. That is cancerous. By then I was like shaky and crying, and I asked him, what caused this, and he said he can't tell me because he was hired through ICE and he got to send the paperwork back to the facility. So when I went back to the facility, I spoke to the nurses, sent multiple papers to them, multiple papers. They never answer until I think this is a cause of the stress that I couldn't see out of my eyes. My blood pressure was all the way up and my vision was lost. And next morning again, they came, another morning, 5 o'clock, told me I'm going to the doctor. I thought it was for what I was going through. When I went to the doctor, they told me I had surgery. But basically what I'm going through, I was like out of my mind and wasn't, concentrating on what they were saying because I had headache, couldn't see out of my eyes or anything.
So the doctor cut your fallopian tubes?
Yeah, when I woke up, I noticed that I couldn't wake up at all because I was on anesthesia. When I went back to the facility, I didn't know as yet. I noticed there were 3 holes in my stomach. So I was asking them, what is this? They say I got surgery, but they don't know what type of surgery I had. After request the medical paper, they brought it back to me. That's when I know that my fallopian tubes was out.
And then how much later were you deported to Jamaica, where we're speaking to now in Kingston?
After that, I think it was a couple months after that.
And your kids still in the United States? They are U.S. citizens?
They were in the United States with a friend. I had a 11-year-old that she's disabled. I had a 14-year-old at the time. She's turned 14 now, but she was 12. And I had a 15-year-old. So they were with a friend at the time.
I wanted to go, Wendy, back.
So, how was the doctor? Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me, Elizabeth, what you're old and you haven't seen her since she was 4 months? Is that right?
Correct. Yes, that's right. I have not seen her. I want out of
Many women are telling your story. Wendy, you're deported as Elizabeth is inside the jail. You were held there until you were sent back, having been sterilized by the same doctor. Wendy Dowe, what are you calling for?
I'm calling for the shutdown of Irwin County. I'm calling for changes. People with like minor offense, people that's been in the country for decades, people that don't know, like your country, even though you're born there, you don't know the country. People don't go through the same thing like we went through because I got 4 U.S. citizen children and my children went through hell. I'm in Jamaica now. They can't get the doctor help they need. Financially, I can't support them. When my daughter got Medicaid in America, she got Medicaid because she's a disabled child. They can't get the education they needed here because they're not from here. I already got American citizens that die in Jamaica because of the health care, and I don't want the same thing to happen to my children.
I want to go finally back to Azadeh Shashahani.